What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 100% Chelsea and welcome to your match preview for Manchester United versus Chelsea. A 4:30 kickoff on Sunday. Me and Scott as usual, and we're joined by this man who everyone's been asking for. I haven't seen your face. Come here, give me a hug.
Yeah, you're right, man.
No, I've missed you.
Too much.
You smell so good, Scott.
I'm not bleeding over you and smelling it, man. That's weird.
It's good. I missed him. But anyway, listen, you're here. Let's get into it. We're obviously at the opposition preview. If you haven't seen that already, there'll be a link above Lewis' head now. Lewis, put your finger up. 3, 2, 1, go. There it is. It should be there. Should have it in 2 seconds. No, that'll be Scott's because we got it the wrong way around. But you know, it will be his. Brilliant. There we go. We got it right then. But listen, let's get straight into it, gents. Manchester United at the weekend. I think we established that we were not confident whatsoever.
I think they established it
I
pretty well themselves.
said both teams established it quite well.
I mean, it's nuts, isn't it?
Has there ever been a season like this when Chelsea and United both, it could genuinely just be a 0-0 draw and no one will be surprised?
No, because United's usually a proud club as well. That's the thing that shocked me the most. They weren't even this depressed in the Moyes era. Or maybe a bit more, but like, this is just different.
Here's a serious question though in terms of that. Would you say, right now in hindsight, if you're a Man United fan, sacking David Moyes was the right idea?
I still think it was the right idea. I think it's more in terms of, this is, because if you look at every other time, every other manager, you could confidently say for the most part, so like Moyes, I think that was a manager problem. He just wasn't ready for the step up.
Yeah, Moyes is never going to work.
Mourinho didn't work because he clashed with the players too much, I think for the most part. Obviously,
he clashed with the philosophy of Manchester United.
Yeah.
And then Van Gaal, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it was a similar deal. And also there was a little bit mixture of the players weren't quite good enough.
I think it was because Jose was there. Because Jose was up there. And ever since Mourinho left, they just kept talking about the media. It's like the Hazard to Madrid rumours now. You just keep hearing it.
But this season, or at least now, it seems to be a turn in terms of it's just almost the club as a whole, similar to us in a way. Like maybe not Ollie, you can take Ollie out of that, but the board are just woeful, incredibly woeful. You could genuinely clear out half their squad and it would be, you'd like to say, fair enough. Like there's a good 10 players you could say you're not good enough or you shouldn't be here, get out.
Well, I mean, we'll get on to that in a minute. I mean, obviously, as we do in the standard match previews, we've obviously outlined what we're going to talk about in terms of match preview, but we go to any other business first and obviously review the previous game as well. That being Chelsea 2, Burnley 2. Now we're all settled, I think is the best way of putting it. How are we all feeling about that result?
We're still shit at set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't it?
Nothing's changed. It wouldn't have, if it sounds pretty stupid to say, and it's like, yeah, duh, but if it weren't for those 2 goals, we would have won. And it's because we were so shit at defending set piece. I guess it's a blatantly obvious point, but we put it on ourselves.
Yeah. To be fair, the Jeff Hendrick goal, I look at and go,
nah, but we should have closed him down quicker, I thought.
Not on the volley. I think that's fair enough.
The way the ball was coming down, you had both players on either side. They both weren't quick enough to get to it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, for me, it's just a case of look. I think that the set pieces I agree with. I think that's another example of Cyrus' stubbornness, where he's refusing to go from zonal to man marking. Where you've seen Pep's had a problem, Conte had a problem. Mourinho had a problem when he first
Zonal just doesn't work in general.
No, zonal marking is not in the UK. It doesn't.
Unless it does, I think. Unless you have a wall of defenders. I'm talking big defenders. So if you had a big team and you could just literally have a wall of defenders, then it would work.
Yeah, that's why Jose liked it so much when he was with us.
We weren't zonal with Jose, were we?
First spell we were. I know for sure first spell we were, but second spell I'm not so sure.
That makes sense because then even if the players get a bit of a run, the opposition players, then you've still got big players who should win the ball in the air.
Yeah.
But if you look at our team, bar Rudiger, David Luiz, and Giroud when he's on the pitch, and Loftus-Cheek, those 4 players, there's no one really that good in the air.
Yeah, I mean,
and even David Luiz is dog shit.
Well, you can tell that there's been that switch over the past few years where Chelsea have gone for more tactical players. Like the first time I probably noticed it was 2012 when we brought in Juan Mata. You could tell they were trying to readapt there, and then you brought in Pedro.
So much,
mate.
That 3 in midfield was something else.
It was the 3 amigos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that midfield was something else, but then you remember that Oscar was pretty average.
Yeah,
and him coming in.
No one emphasising it a bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, if you look at it now, you would have had Hazard, Mata, and then like, if he was still here, you'd have Willian, Pedro, or Hudson-Odoi. Like that is, as a concept, that's something I would love to see again at Chelsea. But we're getting off the point. Another thing we want to talk about in terms of their position in the Burnley is Liam.
Oh.
Have you seen what's been happening on Twitter?
No, the thing that Ashley Barnes had.
Yeah.
Incredible.
No, he's been doing really well for himself. You know, how many people have got it now?
I think when the BBC last did it, they said about 500 maybe, a bit more. Basically, they're saying Liverpool Twitter as an entity is basically Liam.
No, here's the thing though. He just put so much of a spotlight on Ashley Barnes. He's just gonna get marked out the whole game on Sunday or some shit.
Hey, Ashley Barnes.
I can't stand him. He's such a shit house. It's nuts. But it's like I just don't care anymore. I'm just sick of him. Like when he scored the other day and just literally went straight in front of Matthew Harding wagging his finger and going, yeah, have some of that.
But he did that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see. I was on the other side. Of course, I didn't see it.
If he did it towards my seat, it was fucking annoying.
We had Jeff Hendrick trying to knee slide in front of us like he's any good. All that gas over one good goal. You'll never hit the ball like that again in your life.
No, I mean, it's nuts, isn't it? But I mean, listen, let's move on. What else has been going on for Chelsea in the World Football Squad?
Well, talking about the Burnley game, Sarri's fine. I think it's a correct thing, like, because from what I can understand, he did nothing wrong. He handled it as well as he could have done, I think.
Well, for the people that don't know, do you want to give a bit of an
So, at the end of the game, Burnley game, there was a fracas, shall we say?
Fracas?
Yes.
Who still uses that word anymore? You may as well stand there and roll your sleeve and go, I'll have some of you, sir! What are you, fracas?
Yeah, there was a bit of an incident. And
party.
it is believed that some of the Burnley staff called Maurizio a shit Italian, among other things. I thought that might get you chuckling a little bit. And yeah, he didn't take too kindly to that. He reacted. He basically walked out of his technical area towards them, but then there was something going on with Rudiger and the staff, and I believe David Luiz as well. And then he just walked off the tunnel and he didn't do a press conference or anything. And I believe the fine, it was £8,000, and I believe it was for coming out of the technical area.
Which he agreed in his press conference was fair. But he disagreed with it because he thought it was the right reasons that he left his technical area. That's what I understand anyway.
He said it was a fair fine, but that he felt as though he'd done it for the right reasons. Which is fair enough, I think I'd agree with him. And I think, as I said, he handled it well. I think him not doing an interview after the game as well, I think was smart because hot-headed, like it would have been.
Yeah, you want to get more fun.
Calm himself, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably could have seen himself because it's been rescinded from what was going to be a touchline.
I don't think it was going to be a touchline ban, but I think they were just seeing how bad the incident is, and also it's been reported to Kevin Friend, so I think they're waiting for his report as well before doing anything else. So it could just be a fine.
He was fucking dog shit.
He was. Absolutely shit.
He was dickhead.
Yeah.
But
Premier League refs in general.
Yeah. I mean, I saw you put a couple of tweets out about Rudiger in that fracas, saying captain material and stuff. Do you stand by that?
Well, compared to what we do have, I'd say he's like. I get it, like as a defender, he has made his mistakes this season. He is rash on the ball. I'll put that all out there. But as a leader, in terms of being 6-0 down at City, and he's the only player that's really walked up to the fans, like chest out, head up, willing to take anything, coming down to the fans to apologise. He's always the first one to own up to his mistakes and own up to mistakes of the team. That to me is a captain right there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Dave, if he's not going to be playing, I think it would be Tony Rudiger. I mean, obviously David Luiz is the captain after that, but for me, I agree with Scott. I think Luiz is far too rash on the ball. He does
for his mistakes.
He does. He says stupid shit. But the biggest thing for me is I'm going to say that anti-football thing you said about Burnley. Does he forget he was part of the Champions League winning team, which was anti-football, and the fucking when he got
20% possession,
something like that against Barca, 19 wasn't it?
Yeah,
no, I
think 24. I think.
Yeah, and then
something
against
around
Bayern wasn't like 20 something as well, 20 or 30 something.
Something nuts like that. But then a bit off the back of that as well, I think a lot of people forget. Do you remember when was it Raphael tackled him on the corner flag against Man United? He went down, pretended to cry, and then smiled at the camera.
Yeah,
I love that moment. That's such a throwback.
Yeah,
but this is it. He goes, "They're anti-football. They're cheats. They're wasting time." I'm sitting there going, "David, listen, mate. We've all done it. It's a different style of football."
That's the thing.
We
were all getting pissed watching the Burnley game, but as soon as you leave it, you're thinking, respect the grind. It's the same thing we would have done.
I mean, we thought that. I don't think a lot of people did think that.
I
put a tweet out about that, and everyone was saying that I was being, one of those people that wanted Mourinho back, and that I was talking shit about us being like foot talking.
No, just because we got Sarri don't mean we need to act like football purists. Because we look at where we come from. We come from Mourinho shithousing it to the league. We came from 2012 Champions League football. We're known for playing that style of play. We've been known for playing it for years.
Chelsea, even before Mourinho, Chelsea have always been shithouse. We always have. Do people forget the 1970 FA Cup final when it was literally supposed to be like 6 red cards per side? Because Ron Harris was kicking the shit out of people.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that.
But it's stuff like that. Like, we are not football purists. Can we get over that, please? It does my nutting. But like, look, the sorry fine. It's £8. It's going to be on the touchline. I think the next thing this leads into is another one of your tweets. So you're running Twitter, mate.
Is this a bit you want to capture? A bit you want to put out?
Should we? I think this is something
because there's a lot we can talk about.
We are going to capture this. So Scott, can you capture this for us, please?
Okay.
So. This is obviously one of your tweets where you were talking about Sarri versus Ancelotti at Napoli, and I did want to pull you up on it, and I have pre-warned you, so you have had time to kind of prepare your argument. So
my Twitter's Carefree Lewis G, by the way. I thought
shut up! No, don't let him plug it because I'm trying to catch him at the minute. Here we go. So. You put so much stuff out since then. Oh my god.
You didn't put that much stuff.
Where is it?
It's relatively easy to find. Keep going.
Where is it?
Well, it's going to be a side by there.
There it is. Okay, so it's from Italian Football TV as well. And you said, all of you who were bitching that we didn't get Ancelotti over Sarri, make yourselves known. Napoli fans fully missing his football. And you were looking at Sarri's stats in his third season versus Ancelotti's in his first.
That's the wrong stats as well.
Is it?
They fucked that up. It's 91 points.
Okay, 91, 95.
That's not my fault. IFT.
Oh no, that's
the blame for that.
We can't talk about that because we like IFTV because they're our friends.
Yeah.
So lads, you might want to look at that. Just saying. But other than that, I mean, look, it's got 91 points. They're now on 67, so it's 24 points off the pace. Is it this point this season? No, it's after match day 33. That's why it's 80.
Oh, I do apologise.
Don't be a dick. We're sorry. I'm sorry about Scott. I'm sorry about Lewis.
Yeah, because they've still got 5 games left. I'm looking at the end of the season.
Okay.
But it speaks to more than that, I think.
But they're 14 points off the pace.
They're more than that.
14 points off the pace in comparison to last season.
20 points off the top as well.
Yeah. Just gonna say. All season you've been saying, give Maurizio Sarri time, because it's his first season. Can't you say the same about Ancelotti?
That's just to be throwing their logic back at them.
But it's... What? No, you've confused me now.
No. In terms of fucking... Let me rephrase that. In terms of Ancelotti, the reason why I was saying that is because we've been talking a lot about the criticism of Sarri from the Chelsea fans in terms of, let's say, football media in general. But... You look at Napoli, you look at how much they want him back as well. And you look at Ancelotti before he came to Napoli as well, because he was struggling at, Bayern Munich. Yeah, he did win a league title with them, but back at that point it's easy to win a league title with Bayern. Yeah. And even then he was still struggling.
Yeah.
To the point where I think he got sacked after a 3-0 loss to PSG in the Champions League.
Yeah, he did last year. But, obviously I'm playing devil's advocate here, because you know that I'm on the fence with Sarri. Yeah. You know I'm not in, you know I'm not out. I wanted to see how everything develops. The fact remains, like you can't compare that. That's third season versus first season. This is what I'm trying to say.
I get that, and I completely understand that. But like I said, it was me trying to throw the logic back at them. A lot of people are going to throw shit at Sarri after one season, say they want Ancelotti back. Look what he's doing after one season as well. Now, I've got no hate to Ancelotti. The guy's won us our first double, and I completely understand that. But who's our manager now?
Yeah, it's true.
I think it speaks more than that, though, in terms of... So I decided to get Sarri's comparisons of his season since he was at Napoli with Ancelotti's. And it's even worse than that. Like, just take his first season into account. 82 points, so 15 more than they've currently got. This is after the end of the season, so take that into account. There's 5 games left for Ancelotti, but 15 points ahead with 82 points. They have had 5 more wins. They had the same amount of draws, same amount of losses. 80 goals scored, which is 18 more than they currently got this season, and they conceded 2 more, but they were 9 points off of first place. Ancelotti's current team are 20 points off of first place, and that's in their respective first seasons. And then they just built under Sarri, so the next season they got 4 extra points, had 1 more win, 1 more draw, scored more goals, conceded more, but they were 5 points off first place, so they're closing the gap between them and Juve. And then the season after they were 4 points off first place because they got 91 points with 28 wins, so even more wins. Less goals scored, but less goals conceded. So they kept closing the gap. They were improving season upon season.
Okay, so then therein lies the logic behind Sarri at Chelsea, right?
Yes, and they were also when they would lose players, they would replace them with either players on the same calibre or better for the most part.
Napoli would.
Yeah. So, like for example, in his first season, they got in Reina, proven keeper. They lost a couple of midfielders. I can't remember who they were. I did look them up, but they were fairly integral under Benitez. It wasn't Cambiasso, but then they got Allen in, and look how key he's been under Sarri. They lost Higuain, they got Milik in. Fair enough, it's not really comparable, but Milik this season is their top goal scorer, ahead of Mertens. So
it's worked.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's, even in some cases like Milik for Higuain, it's not comparable and it's slightly less. It's not a massive dip in quality. Or, for example, when he left, Mertens stepped up.
So, okay, so to use that logic against you then, because you are Sarri out, are you still Sarri out now?
I'm Sarri out only if the ban is not in place for the window, because then...
If the ban's not in place?
Yeah, for the summer window, because then you can bring someone in and they can do what they want in terms of bring players in.
But then what about the 2 years payoff that we'd have to have for Sarri?
What is his payoff as well? It's like 20 million or something stupid.
But getting paid 6 mil a year, so it'd be 18 mil, 12 mil.
That I didn't realise. It's fair enough.
Plus the extra stuff, because you sacked him. That's the clause in the contract, that's right.
What?
I think it
There'll
does,
be extra cash on top.
It's 12. It's either 12, between 12 and 20. There's definitely going to be cash on top.
Brilliant. So we basically double what we signed him for, anyway.
Yeah.
But if we have the ban, it's pointless bringing anyone else in, because especially if they're a top manager, they're going to want to bring their own players in. And no manager in the world, top manager, is going to come into a club with the players we've got and no budget. That you can't sign anyone. You genuinely have to be mad near the end of your career or just after a paycheck. One of the three.
But with Maurizio Sarri, if we get the ban lifted for the summer, wouldn't that be the perfect chance for him to bring in the players he wants and have the pre-season that he didn't have last year?
That's the thing. But then on top of that, if you look at his track record with the players, Jorginho, the jury's still out on him. I know. Me and you have our own.
I'll give you that. Jury's still out on him.
We are. We're both there going, first season, we'll see how it goes. I think he's, he was shit for a period, but he's developed. He's got better. There's no doubt about that. Kovacic, someone he wanted, has been.
Was it someone he wanted?
I thought it was something off the court.
I was going to say, this is my thing. I think he's only actually signed 2 players, like in terms of players he wanted.
He wanted Kovacic. As
Are you sure about that?
I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure.
Because I
Even if
thought
he definitely
that
wanted
was
Kovacic, why was it only on a year loan then?
Because we don't have the budget, or they didn't want to put the money in.
I was going to say, I thought it was to do with the Courtois deal. It was we bought that, and then we had an agreement with them to also loan Kovacic. It wasn't included in the deal, but it was.
The Courtois deal was they just paid half the cap.
Oh yeah, no. But I'm saying, so as an agreement, we can then also loan Kovacic, but it's a separate deal, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, it's not the same deal.
It's just an agreement.
That may be the case, but I mean, for me, I'm looking at it going, look, Kovacic is a player that he was very big on when he arrived. He was making it very abundantly clear that he wanted him, and he played him a lot. Higuain's been shit. Obviously, we've already mentioned Jorginho. Who else we brought in?
Kepa, but that was a necessity.
That was a necessity.
And Rob Green, but
Rob Green I don't count because and there is one other player I'm sure of.
If you look at those 3 signings, however, I think a lot of that comes down to the board as well. Roman did make it clear that after 10 years he wanted to make the club self-sufficient. The club is self-sufficient, but not to a good enough level to compete.
No.
There's got the wrong people leading it.
And even that as well. But it's kind of a case of, like you said, we've spent millions on players which were, quite frankly, dog shit. Zappacosta.
Danny Drinkwater, to be fair, but Danny Drinkwater, Bakayoko,
just that whole window except for Rudiger.
Yeah, well that's it. And we were moaning when we weren't signing players. Me and him were having bitch fits that whole window. If you've been here that long, if you haven't been here that long, hi. But it's kind of a case. It's kind of a case of. It's just been absolutely ridiculous. Some of the stuff that's going on. Marcos Alonso as well. He's giving him a 5-year deal.
Brilliant. And we might be selling Emerson as well. Brilliant.
So yeah, this is it. This is what I mean. Oh, and on top of that, by the way, we might be selling Eden Hazard. In fact, pretty much 99%.
Oh, Pulisic was the one I forgot, but we haven't.
We don't know playing yet. But it's stuff. Hold on, who was the other person we brought in that window?
Some keeper. Fuck knows who he is.
Some Finnish.
What's his name?
Bergstrom.
Who the fuck is he?
Undisclosed fee, 1st of January.
I don't even remember us signing him.
Oh wait, if he's got a fucking page, click on that.
Hasn't. He's not.
He doesn't even have a page on Wikipedia.
He's a youth player. That's what it is. He's one of those youth players that's going to go out on loan for about 3-4 years and never play and he'll buy.
Okay, that's fine. Well,
I believe in you. Don't worry.
But I mean, look, this is the thing. I think it would be a perfect opportunity for Sarri, but I don't. I don't trust the board, but I also don't trust him to bring in the right players because he's so big on using players he already knows. That is something that worries me.
I can understand why you'd be worried by that. But for me, like I've always said, we've put too much into this now. We brought the guy in. Yeah. We brought in Jorginho. We spent 55 million on Jorginho. We brought in some players that he has asked for. I still say though he hasn't been given enough time to get this to work.
No, that's the thing for me. That's why I'm saying I'm holding my breath until January next year. That's when I'll compare the first 6 months of his reign to the 6 months of the second season and consider if we don't have a ban. Obviously, if we have a ban on this, it's redundant. It's an anomaly. You don't know what's going to happen. But it's kind of a case of you compare the two, and then in the January 2020, I can sit there and go, yes, no, maybe. Still, probably will be maybe, no, me, because I don't want to sit here and just blurt stuff because I'm trying to be more measured, and I think that's. I think it's not fair on him, and also the point you've already raised. We spent 8 million to bring him to Chelsea.
That was before even the contract. We're still disputing Conte's payoff anyway.
Oh yeah, and there's that, which is fun as well. There's so much shit going on that it is
thank
absolutely
God Jose
ridiculous.
didn't take his full payoff.
If he didn't take it, he refused to take his payoff, didn't he?
Oh no, like he kept it until I think he said he'd take it until he found a new job, and like that would be it.
And he literally found a new job straight away.
Yeah, so he just waved off the last couple of years, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair enough. Would you take him back?
And I don't, not right now. I'd have to see him at another club first. I feel if Jose came, it would just be predictable. Like we could read what's going to happen before. I mean, look at these players now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had 2 first team managers fail to get motivated, and one of them was Jose towards the end. Him coming back to this team, he'd probably be done with them quicker.
Is it worse than when he left? Would you say
the team?
Yeah,
definitely worse.
I don't know who we lost from that. Well, Costa obviously. Hazard's still here. Willian's still here.
But it's 2 years extra, it's 2 or 3 years age. So people like Willian and Pedro.
No, but the team's changed a lot in that couple of years. Like a season off that, we were starting Alonso and Moses as our wing backs.
So
what's the squad?
The team was Ivanovic, man. We had Zuma. That was when I think he was properly starting to come into the team.
Zuma was one of our best defenders that season.
Cahill Terry was still part of it. So yeah, the defence is definitely worse. The midfield.
Oh no, JT was still calm. Like, he was a bit
I'm saying the midfield now is the defence now is worse than it was because you had Azpilicueta who had just.
I thought you meant that one was
no.
My bad.
Then midfield, I mean, you've got John Obi Mikel was still there.
Bertrand Traore.
Fabregas. Matic was there, and that's when he was actually.
Oh, Pato and Falcao, I remember that. And that was a dark time.
Oh my god! I could think we can.
To be fair, Pato wasn't given a lot of chances.
No.
Oh, shut up! He didn't deserve it.
No.
Shit. He was shit.
The 2 games he played, he was alright.
Pato deserved more chance.
Falcao was trash.
We were watching the same Alexandre Pato, especially when he came off the bench as well.
No, the 2 games against Villa and Swansea.
There's a reason he wasn't starting. He was here for the paycheck. And go, oh look at me, I'm back in the window.
I genuinely thought Pato was alright.
Another player we had, at least for half a season in that season, was Ramirez. Who was, for me, is criminally underrated.
Massively. I love Ramirez at Chelsea. I don't know. I was upset when we sold him. He's the last player I can sit there and go, oh. And then as that's going to happen, I'm going to cry myself to sleep. Probably hang myself.
Oh, I remember when I think of Ramirez.
I mean, if you find me with an orange in my mouth and I'm hanging from somewhere, just you know why. I just wanted to go out in the right way.
What are you into?
But I mean, we'll end that section there. We'll move on to the next part. So let's go straight into Sarri's press conference.
Yes, there wasn't much to be honest, apart from they talked about Burnley and about what was said, and we mentioned that about the stuff to do with like why about the fine, how do you feel about it, etc. And then the main bit of news, and it's not good, is about injuries. So he said that Rudiger will be fit, pretty much. He said
that's fine.
Almost guaranteed to be fit for United.
Okay.
He said that the surgery for Hudson-Odoi was a success, and he's back at the training ground. He's not training obviously, but he's back there and he's out and about.
He'll be out for about minimum 3 months. I remember saying as well.
Yeah, and it looks as though he's going to miss, based on all the other. There was a tweet about it, based on all other people recently that have had Achilles tendon ruptures. He's going to be out pretty much until 2020. And the last bit of news is that Kante might not be fit for Sunday.
What?
Kante might not be fit for Sunday.
we're going to get battered 17 million nil. I don't care.
Pogba is going to absolutely destroy us.
No, do you know the possibility of him starting?
He didn't. All he said was that they're monitoring his fitness, and he may or may not be fit. There's a possibility he might not be fit. So at the very least, it looks like he might be on the bench, but that could be at least 45 minutes we play without Kante. By which point, if he does come on, we could genuinely be about 2-0 down.
Seriously, fucking hate Burnley.
It wasn't even his. What was it?
Someone got injured in Burnley.
But was it someone's fault?
No. I think either he fell on someone or someone fell on him.
Fair enough.
There's something to do with his rib contusion or something like that.
That was it.
Ouch, that sounds like it hurts.
But
But I
yeah,
mean, okay, that's all we need to know. I mean, Callum Hudson-Odoi obviously is something which I feel we should touch on.
Really unlucky for him. He's finally cemented his place in the first team as well.
I think that one of the things so myself and Louis, for those that don't know, went to the BT Sports Industry Awards last night, and we spoke to Jake Humphreys about this, and he did say that he did say that sometimes these injuries to players early on in their career can be helpful in a way, because it means that they have their feet on the ground more, because they realise this could be over any minute, and their focus becomes bigger. We'll put a clip of that now in this preview now.
I think he'll come back in the summer, and he'll be better. He'll be even better than before. You know, sometimes an injury like this in a footballer's career early on actually can be quite a good thing, because it's all good, it's all easy, it's all nice, and then bang. That's how brutal the sport can be. It's a nice reminder to him. While you've got it, use it, and I think he will.
But yeah, and so I kind of agree with him. I think that it is bad, and it means he's out for a number of months, but it can in a way have a positive effect. In terms of it could see him focus more on it. He knows that because it could end like that, he wants to do.
No, but it also hinders his development.
Oh, it does. It does in a way.
That's what worries me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I just think of? As soon as he went down with that injury, as soon as I found out it was a ruptured Achilles, I just thought of Zuma. Zuma
wasn't Achilles though, was it?
No, but Zuma's injury was, that was the end of his Chelsea career. We can say he can come back next year, but that's all hope. It's all hope. None of it is he's cemented. He's definitely coming back. Kurt Zuma was. It was him and John Terry. That was the partnership.
I remember those slide tackles in 15, 16.
Yeah, he's
chasing down players.
Bang! He's absolutely clatter him. He was an absolute boy. It's kind of a case of you look at him as a player, and he was just so set. He was going places, and then it's now taken him basically 3 years to get back to a point where he's in contention for the France squad, where people consider him one of the best in the league, and it's kind of a case of outside the top 6, one of the best in the league. But it's kind of a case. He just needed to. He just needed those few years, and I worry that what's going to happen is Hudson-Odoi is going to go off the map. Because we have this transfer ban. Do you know what will happen? If we don't have a transfer ban, Pulisic will come in. We'll show Hazard. We'll sign another winger. Guaranteed.
I wouldn't be too annoyed about it if it meant the one of Pedro William win. And it depends who we get. If we just get a random winger from I don't know, say for example, and I put this tweet out ages ago as a joke, but say for example we get Giaccherini because he's worked with him before, and that would be a terrible replacement. But say we get someone that's actually good, for example Pepe or someone else up there, say Asensio, for argument's sake. He wouldn't come to us, but for argument's sake.
Okay.
For argument's sake.
Okay. For argument's sake.
Yeah. Let me finish my point. For argument's sake, if we get a good enough replacement in for Hazard, then I'm fine with it.
He's just lost it.
You alright, mate?
Pepe was sitting there going, that's a little bit far-fetched. He was Champions League football and he's 70 million quid. Then he went fucking Marco Asensio.
He's never going to come to us. As I said, there is no chance in hell.
So use an example of someone who is going to come to us.
No one is.
Exactly. What about, hang on, who we got as wingers in the youth academy which are actually half decent?
Fuck knows. Piazon.
Oh, Christ.
No, Nathan.
Oh, fucking hell, I forgot about him. Where's he now? He's in the Vitesse. Jesus Christ, it just says a lot, doesn't it? But I think I just worry about his development. If you have Sarri, I think it's going to be a case of he will bring him back because it is Sarri, and because Sarri likes to work with players and he understands Hudson-Odoi and he's been watching his development. If we don't have Sarri, it's going to be a case of fuck.
Depends who we have.
Exactly.
If Lampard, for example, then yeah, I'd see him coming back in. But if it's just anyone else random, then
I'm thinking about, with all the issues with contract talks and the stuff in January, Bayern, I think we'll have an eye on him, to be honest. I'm just thinking about it.
Shit, I just had that. I forgot that. He could go on a free by the time he comes back.
Oh, no, but I'm thinking if we genuinely take care of him, if we give him the best rehab possible and he shows up, and we just act like the way any normal club would, that should be enough to keep him one contract, because he's still young.
Everton did that with Ross Barkley.
I just hope it goes better than it went for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you speak to other tones, he's a red shite, that's what you normally get. You know, they call him a Liverpool fan and all that.
They do not like him.
I don't understand it though. I thought, Everton accepted the fee, blame your club. But other than that, we'll move swiftly on. So obviously leave your thoughts on that down below. Obviously there's going to be a separate clip to the match build-up show as well, thanks to our lovely Scott Page. Nice guy. But other than that, we'll move on, and we're going to go into our last bit, which is going to be after half time, because Scott has exactly just pointed out an issue, because we only have 2 minutes left of this pitch. So go get yourself a cup of tea, go do something else, just leave this video open, and we'll see you in a bit. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to your match build-up show, obviously with me, with Scott, and with this gentleman here, who I'm pretty sure you all know. If you don't know, I don't know what you fucking means. Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Hi. Nice. Okay, fine.
No,
Brilliant. Nice. That's a great start to the second part of the preview. But we'll move on. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's cool. Let's talk about the last big battle in terms of the Chelsea versus Manchester United game, and one thing which we're pretty sure, which we're going to be fucking livid about, and we're also going to capture this goal.
Are we all going to be livid about this, Lewis?
Me?
I said, yeah. So it's about Hazard versus Pogba and the team of the year.
Okay.
That reaction. So yeah, for those that haven't seen it, don't know why you wouldn't have, but team of the season was released, the PFA team of the year, was released last night. I'll run through it quickly. It was Edison in goal,
Yep.
It was Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Laporte and Robertson,
Yep.
Bernardo Silva, Fernandinho, Pogba,
Yep.
Sterling, Aguero, Mane. And the biggest sort of talking point from all of it was Pogba's inclusion, with I think a unanimous from pundits, fans, including United fans, might I add, alike, was that Pogba shouldn't be in there. It wasn't that anyone else should be, Pogba should not be in there, which I can wholeheartedly agree with. But then a few people, Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, others included, said that Hazard should be in instead of him, and I can completely understand that point.
Yes, I can completely understand the point, but you're going to play Hazard in central midfield for Player of the Year.
Yes. Because the team's not going to actually play a game of football. Therefore,
see, but whenever we do teams and we sit there and it's like we did this the other day, teams in the top six, team of the year outside the top 6, we went, we'll do it as if we're going to actually play this team. I think Hazard should be in there as well. Before people start going, Louis says Hazard shouldn't be in Player of the Year. What a wanker! Yeah, do me a favour. All right.
Team of the year, Player of the Year was something else.
Yeah, what?
He was in the Player of the Year. You keep saying Player of the Year. It's Team of the Year, man. There's a difference. One's one man. There was 11 men.
You know what? You're pretty smart for a crackhead. But we'll move on. I think it's kind of a case of, look, I've said that too many times.
Yeah.
I think people should do shots every time I say that. That'd be great for them. We'll just prove you pissed for. It's kind of a case of, I'm going to play devil's advocate for this, for the sake of this argument. Again, I will reinforce that I believe Hazard should be in the team of the year. However, I understand why Mane isn't there.
Oh, Mane's not the one I'm looking at.
Not over Hazard.
Okay.
I mean,
if we're going to say based on positions, then it is going to be Mane v Hazard. I still don't see how Mane makes over Hazard. Yeah, he's on a Liverpool team that might win the league, but they might.
I think for me,
it's still most likely.
It all depends on what you're basing the team of the year off. If you're basing it off stats, the majority of your basis of it is stats. Hazard gets in. If you're basing it across the play over the whole season in general, I think Mane deserves to get in because Hazard's had too many up and downs.
But here's the thing: if you base it off that, then how do you justify putting Pogba?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. He shouldn't be in it, but they screwed up here somewhere, majorly.
Who would you put in instead?
Centre midfield. If I have to put a midfield, are you saying if I have to put a midfielder in?
Look, Hazard and Mane, that is the direct competition. That is where we can talk about Hazard. Hazard would not go into the midfield. You would not put him there because it would be. The argument would be if you put Hazard in that midfield position, you'd just be shoehorning in. If he's not in the team, it's because Mane's in there. People are going to be annoyed that's because Hazard is not in the team. So it's one or the other. Obviously, the Hazard-Mane decision, in terms of stats alone, Hazard should be on there. In terms of what you said about team play, I completely agree and I completely understand. But in terms of a central midfielder, to take out Paul Pogba, who'd you put in?
Gini Wijnaldum. Or Henderson.
I'd put in Fernandinho.
He's already in it.
Fernandinho.
Fernandinho's in the middle.
Okay, yeah.
It's Bernardo Silva, Fernandinho and Pogba, so I'd put either Gini Wijnaldum or Jordan Henderson.
I'd put Jordan Henderson's in there. Henderson.
One of the two.
I swear Henderson wasn't starting regularly to the start of the season.
Yeah, he was. I think it was him.
No, I thought he was being benched a lot this season. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
I thought it was Henderson, Milner, and Wijnaldum.
I thought he's only broken back in again.
I say Milner's had 2 minutes. Like he's played too much on the bench. Unfortunately, I can't put Milner.
What other teams are there? If you take away Liverpool and City, because obviously
De Bruyne's been injured too much. You could possibly put David Silva in. He's another one you could put in. But I think over the whole season, I feel like
if you put
Henderson's been
City midfield, you'll actually get bad.
I say Henderson has been for me more consistent over the whole season than Silva, personally.
Yeah.
Apart from that, there's no one else. You wouldn't put anyone from Tottenham. The only person.
Ericsson?
If you speak to Tottenham fans,
his performances have dipped this.
I'll say from an outside view, it looks like he's been okay. But you speak to Tottenham fans, the
stats speak for themselves.
Sissoko's their best midfielder.
The stats speak for themselves. He's got the most assists alongside Hazard.
It depends.
I
think we're talking the whole thing.
Yeah, if you're going off stats, I'd put Ericsson in. But I think outside of that, if you look at Man United, no. You look at Arsenal,
no. Chelsea, no.
Chelsea. Jorginho.
I say you could put Kante in, but like
I think Kante. A lot of people aren't putting him in because he was played out of position.
I don't even think it's that. I think again, just the other players have been more consistent. Like Kante will put in a 6 or 7 out of 10 a lot, but then you'll get Wijnaldum put an 8 out of 10 most.
But to argue this point, if you look at this way, if I go on who scored and I get a proper stats for the season.
Oh, well, in terms of goals and assists, he's got 22 goals and assists.
Okay, and then what percentage is that of Man United?
That's a very good question.
I know Hazard's is 49%.
Yeah. I will have a look. Unless you're getting it.
Yeah, I've got it here. So Pogba, in terms of his return, in the Premier League, he's made 31 appearances, 2,747 minutes, 13 goals, 9 assists. Wow, that's actually a really good return. Aerial duels 1.7. Man of the match awards 7 out of 31. Okay.
In terms of this season, United have got 63 goals.
And he's been involved in 22. So
he's been involved in a third of them, but in terms of actually scoring them, he's been involved in 7%.
And I would say penalties. There are a lot of 10 more penalties, but we can't say anything about that because let's be honest, we have the penalty king and Lampard, and we're not going to do a Liverpool and say stats don't matter at this point when this goes Gerrard versus Lampard.
But then also want to throw out Bernardo Silva versus Salah.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, what other stuff we got going?
Apart from that, the only other one you could kind of argue, but I don't think there's much of a case for it, is Wan-Bissaka or Alexander-Arnold. For me, as a whole player, Alexander-Arnold is better. If we're talking just defensively, it's Wan-Bissaka, but as a whole player...
Yeah, Alexander-Arnold's better. I agree. I think he's in there for me.
Alexander-Arnold can play anywhere on the pitch for me. Like, he's one of those players who can genuinely play anywhere on the pitch. He looked comfortable, maybe not striker, but anywhere, and goalkeeper, obviously. Anywhere else on the pitch, he looked comfortable. His passing is good. His crossing is good for a winger. His attacking play as a fullback is incredible. His defending is actually solid.
How's his weak foot?
Relatively good. I haven't seen too much of it.
So he says he can play anywhere, but it doesn't actually know all the statistics behind
Fuck yourself.
That's pretty good. And there goes monetisation as well. You're actually a horrible
person.
It
weren't me for once.
If we haven't sworn so many other times during this.
I mean, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
Have I?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I probably have.
Shows how desensitised I am to swearing.
Yes.
Oh dear. But I mean, other than that, Team of the Year, Hazard versus Mane. I think we can all unanimously agree that Hazard should be in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Again, I'll go back to it depends what you're basing it on.
Okay, Scott. Listen, leave your thoughts down in the comment section below on that. But now it is time for the big one. So we have 20 minutes left on the record button. We have a match preview, the lineup predictions, and our score predictions to round off the show. Scott, give it to me. What time is kickoff?
It's 4:30.
What day is it?
Sunday.
Where are we playing it?
Manchester.
Where in Manchester? There you go, cool. Got that. Who are we
The
playing?
football ground, not the cricket ground. Manchester United.
Good knowledge, fair play. But let's get straight into it. Manchester United versus Chelsea. Like we said, we're not very confident, are we? At all.
No.
Nah.
Yeah. If we were at home, I think we'd be more confident
Yeah.
because
United's record there is trash. Yeah, they
It's-
beat us
it's
the
not-
last time we played there. I get that. The record's still trash.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just then you've got the home crowd behind us. You've got we seem to be a bit more. I know Birmingham's 2-2, but we seem to be a bit more confident at home. But away, our away record is just poor.
Yeah.
Like it's just. I think you made the point in the opposition preview. Again, go and watch it if you haven't already. It came out yesterday. You made the point that
2 wins in 2019.
yeah, and both the wins were really like we nearly lost them. Like Cardiff, we should have lost, and Fulham nearly came back.
Offside goal.
Those are two possibly relegated clubs, and we nearly let them beat us. What the fuck are we doing?
This is what I mean. This is what I'm not confident at all. The Man United fans say they've not scored in God knows how many games. They've had 2 wins in 9.
We've had 2 away wins in 9. Oh, you're saying?
No, they've had 2 wins
They've
in
had
9.
2 wins in 9
And they
games.
should have been 8. No, sorry, 1 win in
Yeah.
9. Because West Ham were
This
better
is why we
team
were
than
saying that preview that we did yesterday was the most depressing
2 days ago.
we've both ever done. Oh, 2 days ago.
We filmed it, yeah. Go on, it's
Oh yeah, but it was the most. It was that depressing because neither of us are that confident. United are coming into this game in bad form. We're coming into this game in bad away form, and we could see. And I think the way United set up the way United are set up is perfect to take us down. They're a strong physical team. They've got the height advantage on us, and we know how poor we are at set pieces. It just looks like it's one of those games that's just going to come to bite us, and we don't really expect it to.
I agree. I do not know where to even start. I look at it, and obviously I'm doing a Louis, and I'm sitting there and going, yeah, we're probably going to lose, and it's going to be a dog shit goal. I am sitting down here saying Man United are going to beat us 1-0, and the thing is that the other thing that rides on this is top 4.
Yes.
If we win this game, we are in a position, and I know we're playing again. The point that I want to raise is that we're playing Watford at home and Leicester away. 2 teams that are literally
In the 5, the top 7.
they're in
Europa
the,
League.
they're in the fight for that last Europa League place. It is going to be a really, really, really tough game. And then on top of that, like I said, you've already got those 2. Realistically, if I'm going to look at this worst case scenario, we could come out here with out of the last 3 games with 2 points or 1 point.
They're hard games, but they are winnable. The last 2, we should be able to beat Watford, and we should be able to beat Leicester.
Well, I mean, Watford at home, yeah. Leicester away, I don't think we
Plus,
never.
with Vardy, the way he plays, with how they're set up in a way, like they're good at set pieces.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Slabbed. That's what I need to
It's not
say.
even that, like Morgan, like Johnny Evans. Apart from that,
Yeah, but we really shouldn't be in this position where we're worried about mid-table clubs like this. That's the thing. And if it is, then that's the case of how far we've dropped. But regardless, Watford and Leicester, if we're serious about getting Champions League football, we should be beating both of them.
Mm-hmm.
United, that's why United is so must-win for me, because those 2 games are winnable. United, that's the last big top 6 clash.
Yeah, and I mean that kind of falls into our hands at that point as well, doesn't it? As well, if it's dependent on the results.
Yeah, whoever wins that match don't make top 4, they're bowl jobs.
Look, we are currently. Everyone has played. Obviously, excluding right now as we record this, Liverpool are playing Huddersfield, and they are 1-0 up currently. Obviously, that is puts them top of the league with 36 games, but obviously everyone else is still to play. We are in 4th. We are 2 points or 3 points ahead of United,
and
1 point ahead of
goal
Arsenal,
difference as well.
and have a far superior goal difference. This game, if we win the last 3, you know what? Anyone who said shit about Sarri, including me, including you, including him, I think we can all go, do you know what? This has been quite a decent season. Final of the Carabao Cup, top 4, and if you
possibility
of Europa League final and win, which is one thing I do want to draw him up on from his press conference when he said we kind of expect to get to the final when everyone else is saying we expect to win it.
We are the bookies' favourites.
We are the bookies' favourites. Look, I understand he could be playing it down, but to me, when I listen to it, he's like, oh, get to the final of the Europa League. If you get to the final, you're in it to win it. And that's one thing where I look at it and go, you kind of need to be, if you're there and saying we want to get to the final, we want to win it, not we want to get second. Because that is where, again, my thought of loser mentality comes in. But that is the loser mentality which stopped us against Burnley, made us row West Ham, made us lose 4-0 to Bournemouth, saw us lose 6-0 to City. There's way too much right now which leaves us all nervous ahead of this game. Because we don't know which team is going to turn up. This could be the team that beat Tottenham at home. This could be the team that beat Tottenham at home. We go to Man United, we play really good football.
It could be the team that beat City at home.
And it could be the team that beat City at home because they know how much rides on it. Or it could be the team that played Burnley, knowing full well that 3 points would put us in an even better position. We could be 1 point off of Tottenham in third.
We could have, if we had beaten Burnley, we could afford to lose this game in a way.
Here's the thing that falls into our hands, though. United are feeling exactly the same way, maybe even worse.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I'm hoping falls into our hands that we can hopefully take advantage, because United are in a really bad state right now.
Yeah.
Like if we thought shit was bad with us, then half of their first team players they've already turned on.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can add to that, we've practically knocked United out of the top 4 races. Just us, Arsenal, and Spurs. We'll be in the most second most comfortable position unless Tottenham lose to West Ham. But looking at Arsenal, 2 away games left. Leicester on Sunday before we even play, and then Burnley on the last game of the season. Things look a little bit in our favour. Not fully, unless Spurs lose tomorrow. But things look pretty alright in our favour. United are scared. And if anything, they got more riding on this match than we do. Because at least we got Europa League if we fuck top 4 up.
I don't even think it's that. I think it speaks more than that. It speaks to, look at some of their players. If they don't get that top 4, Pogba's definitely going. De Gea's definitely going. You've got so many other players in their team that are actually good and deserve to stay there. They could look and go, we're not going to do anything for the next few years. We're going to go. Their team could genuinely just completely deplete.
You look at that Manchester United team, because this is another point we want to talk about. Because obviously a lot of people are saying, obviously what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was saying a few days ago.
Well, there's some of the players aren't good enough to be in this team.
You look at
wholeheartedly agree. It's not even that. Some of the players' attitudes, like Pogba's an amazing player. His attitude is shit. His attitude is not a Manchester United attitude.
Well, if you go through his attitude and everything as well, here you go. So in terms of score, according to who scored, Pogba is Man United's best performer, and I think if you speak to United fans, I say exactly the same. Pogba will go. Herrera's going PSG.
Luke Shaw would stay.
Rashford will stay. Martial will want to go.
I say Martial would go.
Ashley Young they want to put out the door. Lukaku they want to put out the door. Phil Jones they're saying really should be going out the door. Valencia's going out the door. Chris Smalling will probably stay. They want Matic out the door. Juan Mata's not signed a new thing.
I don't know if they want Matic out.
Juan Mata could be going Valencia.
Yeah.
But Barcelona want him as well.
Alexis Sanchez as well. That's already 10 players. Darmian and Jesse Lingard they've already spoken about as well.
Could go if
that's
they
12.
Get top 4.
De Gea that's 13.
Fred they'd probably stayed at this
Fred
point.
will stay. McTominay will stay. Bailly might go.
At that point, I think most of them will. Yeah.
Rojo would go.
You wouldn't even be able to feel a fucking 11.
No, you would. You'd just about to be able to field an 18, but that's an 18 that's good enough for top half of the table, maybe top 6 at push.
Yeah, but then again, you're not going to get rid of that many players. That's just if you were going to do it. But this is where you look at this Man United team. The Pogba, which we saw against Manchester City last year, who pulled them back from the brink, could turn up at the weekend. You could have Marcus Rashford all of a sudden start firing. Martial could turn up again.
Lukaku could do it just because it's
Chelsea.
Us. Yeah.
Which he always scores against us. He's done it in the past, he'll do it again. This is the point that I'm trying to make. And this is why I am always on edge. Every single game. Look, the Premier League, anyone can beat anybody, and it can literally just be a case of they turn up on the day. It's literally as simple as that.
Yep.
And I'm sick of people saying games are walkovers. If games are walkovers, we wouldn't have lost 4-0 to Bournemouth. We wouldn't have drawn with West Ham, which is one I always go back to, because we looked shit that day, and that was just the pressure of something to come. We wouldn't have lost to Everton.
No. Wouldn't have drawn to Burnley.
Wouldn't have drawn to Burnley, as like I've already said. Look, there's so many things here where you don't know which team is going to turn up, and you really need to think about this. This is stuff where you need to go worst case scenario, and you could say it's a loser's mentality. It's not. I'm looking at this cautiously. I want to go into every game and I want to win it. That should be everyone's mentality. It shouldn't be, we get to the final, like Sarah was saying. It shouldn't be, we'll see what happens and our draw will be good. You go to every game and you want to win it. Unless, because for example, if you're a Burnley, I understand why they're going, look, we only need a point to stay up, we'll stay up, get that point. They had a job to do, they did it.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be a case of, let's have all this possession, let's see what we can do with it, let's do this, let's do that. Manchester United are a counter-attacking team. Louis van Gaal ironically made this point. The only reason that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is favoured more over Jose Mourinho is one, because it was Mourinho versus a 1999 treble-winning player who is a Manchester United legend, who understands the club and has that in his favour. They're both counter-attacking managers. So it's kind of a case of this Manchester United side could really turn up at the weekend. Solskjaer could get them fired up and say, this is our last chance.
I hear that, and this is why both sides are so unconfident, because we both know what each other's teams are capable of, but on the other hand, we both know what each other's teams are capable of. We could see the best of both teams, we could see the worst of both teams. We could see us turn up and have another great performance like we would hope for us to have, or we could see us having yet another poor away day performance where we just have the majority of the ball, do nothing, get beaten by a set piece and concede another goal after half time and lose.
Yeah, I agree. Well, listen, guys, leave your thoughts on that preview bit down below. But now we're going to quickly rattle through it because we haven't got long left.
No.
Let's talk about our predicted 11. I think we'll just rattle through it because I think we know what's going to happen. Kepa in goal.
Yep.
Dave, I'm going
Emerson.
Dave.
Emerson.
I'm hoping Emerson. I pray to God.
Like,
Emerson.
neither are great, but Emerson's better than Alonso,
Okay,
so put him in.
Emerson and Dave as the fullbacks. Rudiger and Louise the centre halves.
Mm-hmm.
Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek I play.
Yeah.
Just we need Kante in that team.
Yeah.
No, but if we don't know if he's fit, we're going to go worst case scenario.
I'm going to say Barkley if he's not fit.
Barkley
See, that just annoys me because Barkley is
Was it
shit.
Kovacic?
No, but we're going to need, at the very least, we're going to need someone that's at least willing to do something in the final third. Kovacic is great, but I'd rather, best case scenario for us, we take the lead and bring Kovacic on to defend the lead.
Exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Bring in Ross Barkley as an option to try and save us from anything. No offense, the guy and all that. I'd rather have him at the start.
Exactly. It's not. Well, you'd rather preempt than react. Yeah, I agree. So okay, fair enough. Barkley front three, Hazard.
Higuain will play. You might know he will play.
He will play, won't he? Yeah, he scored. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna play. He's gonna play.
So Higuain, and then on the right hand side,
William, not Pedro.
Because Pedro played in the last game, I believe he came off the bench.
They
both did, didn't they?
I would put Pedro in.
How come?
I just think Pedro's a better player than Willian. I think in terms of big game experience, I think he's better for it. I think he's better on the ball. I think he can definitely help us out a hell of a lot more in the final third. I think, maybe his legs are starting to go a bit, but still he can crack a shot. He puts himself in the right places. He's ratty, which in terms of the way he's like, he can chase the ball down. He puts the pressure on players. I think he's the type of player you want, especially going potentially if you swap wings, going up against Ashley Young, because he does stuff in the final third, and Ashley Young will be.
You know what? Yeah, you actually changed my mind on there. Let's do Pedro.
Pedro?
Yeah, okay,
Pedro? Cool. So we're going with our 11 as Kepa in goal, Emerson, David Luiz, Rudiger,
Dave.
Then you're going Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek and Barkley, potentially Kante depending on fitness. Pedro on the right, Hazard on the left, Higuain up front.
Mm-hmm.
I'd start Giroud, but I mean we all know.
I'd start Giroud too, but I don't see
you
him
know what's
starting.
you know what's going to happen.
Because Higuain had a slightly promising game against Burnley. I think he'll build on that. Well,
allegedly he'll build on that. Okay, right then. Final bit of the show then, lads.
Score prediction.
I was giving a dramatic effect.
Well, it wasn't dramatic at all. Score prediction.
You're coming to you last. Yeah,
Cool.
Exactly. You flinched, little bitch. Right, go on, Karen.
Could see a draw. I said 2-2 on the preview yesterday. Probably stick 2-2 again.
Sticking 2-2?
Yeah.
1-0. You stick with what I said. United win.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea. Just Ross Barkley do what he did against Malmo. And to bounce off his foot into the goal or something stupid like that.
I'd love it if Ross Barkley scored the winner against United.
It'd be nuts.
He didn't get the winner, but he got the goal that draws the game.
But listen, we'll see how people start calling a promising young talent again despite being 26, 27. And
He's got the number 8.
pretty much. Yeah, but other than that, guys. Right. Listen, thank you very much for watching this match build-up show of Manchester United versus Chelsea. Nearly got the wrong way around. Old Trafford, 4:30 kickoff on Sunday. Obviously, all three of us are going to be there, so make sure you watch all the fan cams. Make sure you check out Lewis's vlog, importantly as well. He's, those are always good. And obviously, make sure you check out my review, Scott's fan cam, and anyone else's who's there. I think Jordan's there, and a few of the others are going to be there. But and obviously, if any of you guys are there and fancy doing a fan cam, please come and talk to us. But anyway, other than that, make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea. All social media links are down to you from Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter and Instagram, as well as Lewis's socials, Scott's socials and myself. I'd like to thank Lewis for coming on. I'd like to thank Scotty P for coming on and doing the script and all that lovely stuff as well. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Take care and we'll see you later.